Welcome to Study Loop.
All right, so for the graph for the importing countries, as Canada is with wine, so Canada imports wine. So you're going to want to look at figure 3 in your text for this. We're going to have quantity on our x-axis, so quantity of wine. Put wine quantity, and then wine price will be on our y-axis. So let's put the world price here. Okay, and let me attempt to even make it red so it'll sort of match what you have in your text. And we have a line representing the price. It was too good to be true. I got the color to change once and can't change it again. Let me fix this. I'll be back. Okay, got it. So let's have a price line here. And have our domestic supply line here. All right, so here is domestic supply. And mine may be a little exaggerated. It's going to be small in comparison to world supply. So this portion here will be region C, representing domestic supply. There we go. We got it. Domestic supply below the world price line. So this represents the Canadian wine at price below the world market. And then I also want to label here, let's hold off on that for now. So because we're importing, we have the quantities of wine. In our quantities, we have a lower production quantity. So this is domestic production, which is going to be below domestic demand, which is why Canada needs to import. So the difference between these two, and let me line them up here. I did better on the second one. The first one is a bit off. The difference between these two represents the amount imported. Okay. We're going to say this is region A above this price point, and this is B. And so let's talk, and we also have this region D, so let's talk about what these are. So we are asked about the consumer surplus first, so let's address that. Will be represented with trade happening will be in regions A, B, and D. Okay, so we take all these regions together. Maybe I can label them with another color. That would be good. There we go. Here. Okay. And I didn't continue with my scribble coloring, but these two regions, A and B, are included as well. So this is with trade. Okay. All right, if we have any producer surplus, next on our list will be represented by area C. Our total surplus is going to be all regions A plus B plus C plus D. So this is with trade, and to complete the table, we should also include before trade. So before trade, our consumer surplus will be region A only. Our producer surplus will be B and C. Total surplus A plus B plus C. So you can see with trade, we have additional surplus in this region right here in the center. It's the small triangle D. Here is our graph in our table that takes care of part A. And then for part B, we are asked the question if there's unusual shift in the Gulf Stream, unseasonably cold winter in Europe destroying the grape harvest, will increase the price of wine, the world price. Because many of those European growers will probably be taken out of the global market. And in A, what the effect on consumer surplus would have, well, it's actually kind of easier to see on the graph, I would say. So if let's take this red line, and it's going to increase. I'd like to change to red to show you that. Okay, so let's say it increases to here for our question B. You can see our A, our B and C. Our C section is going to be bigger. So with part B, I'm going to let you make these changes in red here. Our C is going to increase. Okay, our consumer surplus. So this is our producer surplus. Our Canadian producer surplus will increase. Okay, so producer surplus will increase domestically. Though consumer surplus may decrease. And our surplus in Canada is actually going to decrease. So, I'm sorry, overall producer surplus does not increase. It will also decrease domestically as more is exported. So let me put for part B about the winners and losers down here. The winners are going to be Canadian producers. They will be able to sell more, export more. Losers are going to be the consumers who will have to pay more. Okay, as a whole, we would think Canada should be better off because they will be contributing more to the global supply.